Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watches the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, what a day. This is great for Lakers now. This is great for the Lakers in the future, right? Lakers now have some deep pockets. So, for those that don't know, bring everyone up to speed real quick. The Los Angeles Lakers, Jeannie Buss, the Buss family, just recently sold a majority stake in the franchise. Now, they still are going to own 15% of the franchise, as well as Jeannie Buss is still going to operate as the governor of the Lakers, right? So she's still going to be the one running and doing the day-to-days. But more than anything, Lakers now have the pockets to compete with anybody, right? One of the big problems that the Lakers had were, yes, they're the Lakers. Yes, they are one of the bigger markets. Yes, all of those things, but they are the poorest ownership, right? The ownership does not have a bunch of money, does not have the finances that these other owners in the league, even some of these small market teams will, right? And the big question and concern whenever, you get the ownership is, we're not just any team. Lakers are not just, a random run-of-the-mill organization. We are a team that wants to win, must win every single season. There is no, we're playing for first rounds, we're playing for play-ins, we're playing for, ticket sales, we're playing for NBA championships every single year. Now, obviously, you're not going to win every year, but that is what we're playing for every year. That is the goal. That is the standard. That it's championship or bust for the Lakers. So the concern is always when you bring in a new owner, right? Are they going to have that standard? Are they going to follow the same kind of ideas of the Lakers, the expectations of the organization, the expectations of the fans, right? And the beauty is that the Lakers sold to a owner who does have all of that, right? You're talking about a guy that genuinely is willing to do and pay whatever it takes in order to make it happen, right? Like, you talk about the owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, right? And they are now, obviously, the NBA and MLB are very different things, right? The MLB and the NBA, one has no salary cap, one has a now very strict salary cap. So, this doesn't mean that if he's willing to come in and pony up, $10 billion to go win a check, you can't do that. But what this does mean is if we do what we're supposed to do as far as an organization goes, and we are a tax team, and we are a team that has to pony up more money than we would have to otherwise, this is an owner that would be willing to do so. This is an owner that's not going to care. This is an owner that will do and pay whatever has to be paid in order to make it happen, right? And that is the beauty of this, this transaction, right? Because now you have an owner that has the money in order to make this happen, right? So I am very excited about this. I do have some concerns, and I'll break it more down in like independent videos, so I don't spend too much time because I do want to get to the chat and all that stuff. But I do have some concerns in the sense of, like, new owner syndrome, right? Like, you got Mark Walter coming in, and I imagine he'll kind of let things play the way that they are. But like you saw with, like, Matt Ishbia, came in, got the ownership, and just went wild, right? Just like, hey, go get Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. And it ended up ruining. You see a lot of times you get these new owners that get very excited. They get very, enthusiastic about it. My hope is that, Walter will come, Mark Walter will come in and understand the deal. Understand, like, I think that's why it's good that he's letting Jeannie stay at the helm, for a couple years, right? So that way he can kind of learn the ropes himself. He can kind of get into the feel of things. And then also so he doesn't make any of those rash decisions or those haste decisions, right? Because you don't want to end up like a Phoenix Suns team when you just got Luka. This is great for Luka. This is great for the Lakers. This is great for everything because Luka now is going to have an owner that can pony up the money. But I do have a level of concern, not major concern, but I do have a level of concern about the new owner syndrome, right? And him coming in and being like, we need to go get Kevin Durant and go get, trade everybody like that. Those are the kind of things that to kind of keep in mind. So we'll see how this affects this offseason. If it affects it in a major way, it might not affect it at all. It might just kind of keep things like the Lakers might go down the road regardless, the same way that they were going to regardless. But this gives us at least the financials now to compete with anybody. Now we're not going to get outbid or outpaid or out whatever. Now we have the finances backing us in order to do whatever is necessary to build the team that can win multiple championships, right? Because again, this isn't the MLB. This is the NBA. There's restrictions. They're very different the way that they operate and go about things. So, I am excited for this. I am super excited for this. This is probably one of the best things that could have happened. I mean, whether the Lakers make moves or not this offseason, this alone was a huge, huge monumental thing for the Lakers. So I am really glad in that regard. But we got to continue to stay the course. We got to continue to stay, and do things properly, right? We can't get lost in that, like I said, the new owner syndrome. But I do want to see the Lakers. Like, Lakers need to, again, contend for championships. I'm glad we got an owner that understands and has proven. That's the other thing. He has proven that he'll do whatever it takes to win. He'll pay whatever it takes to win. Look at the Dodgers, right? They went and ponied up. They have like $1 billion payroll. They have money deferred. I mean, he's going to have to pay out like $10 billion once all these guys retire, right? Because he knows, hey, let's go win championships. So he's bringing that standard and that belief to the Lakers, which is what the Lakers standard is, right? Like Jerry Buss, Dr. Jerry Buss, right? He was passionate, loved the Lakers. He wanted to win, all that stuff, but he did what it took. He did whatever he had to, whatever it cost, whatever it took, whatever trades had to be made, whatever needed to be done in order to win an NBA championship. You do that because that's the Lakers. And we need to follow that suit, right? And, to Jeannie Buss's credit, because I've been very critical on Jeannie Buss, right? I don't think she has been the best owner, but she does have a championship under her belt. However you feel about Jeannie Buss, she has won an NBA championship as the owner. So, again, that is something not many owners can say. There's a lot of owners in the league that can't say that they've won an NBA championship. So, again, I'm excited for this kind of new beginning for the Lakers. I don't know how much is actually going to change immediately, right? Like, I think the Lakers are going to continue to stay the course, but I think that this is good again for the financials where, with the second apron and all that other stuff, you start getting heavy into the tax and the luxury tax. I don't know if Jeannie would have been willing to do that. A great example was Alex Caruso, right? Jeannie Buss did not want to pay and pay the tax for a guy like Alex Caruso. I don't think you'll have that problem with Mark Walters, right? Or Mark Walters, right? I don't think you'll have that issue with him. I think he'll, hey, we want to keep whatever. We want to keep, we'll just use Bronny James because he's on the roster. Say Bronny James becomes a legit two-way guy. And it's like, hey, dude, we want to keep Bronny because he has, been one of our better 3-and-D guards, right? And it's like, is it worth it? Yes. Okay, let's pay what we got to pay. Let's keep him and make sure it happens. I don't think you'll get an Alex Caruso situation again where it's like, we don't want to have to pay what we have to pay for him. I think it'll be, hey, is he worth paying and keeping around? Yes, then pay him and keep him around. Is it worth going into the luxury tax for him? Yes, then pay him and let's go into the luxury tax, right? Like those, I think, will be the differences over the course of years, right? And then also, again, just the financial side of things and the impact with all of that. I'm really excited for where we are at. I'm really excited to see kind of how this changes the Lakers in a good or positive manner. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to kind of get through that. Let's get into all of the chat, answer all the questions, because I'm excited. I'm sure many of you are excited as well. Real quick, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into all the super chat questions, and then we'll jump into all of the regular chat questions. Starting us off, admin coming out with the $5 super chat. Hey Tyler, how you been, bro? I've been great. Appreciate you. Congrats with the Spurs channel and hitting 10K on the other channel. I would wait until the trade deadline to see AR's future. Well, thank you. First off, I really appreciate that. Secondly, yes, got to continue to grow the brand. Yes, I just hit 10K on the other Lakers channel, which thank you very much, everyone, for that. So, again, just continuing to grow, build the brand, trying to be a fixture in just the sports space, obviously, the Lakers. But, I got to, again, try to grow the As It Stands brand. So I've been great, just busy, right? Trying to, build and grow and work and then, adjusting and acclimating to the move and all that stuff. As far as an AR trade goes, to me, it just boils down like what develops, right? Like if a trade comes tomorrow, then you do it tomorrow. If a trade comes at the trade deadline, you do it at the trade deadline, right? If a trade doesn't come, then you sign him to a new deal and you figure it out later. I just think it depends on what ends up happening with the situation, right? Like, is there a team that is willing to pony up what the Lakers would deem enough to get off of AR? Again, I'm okay with trading AR. I mean, I've been very open about trading AR, but I like I always maintain, I don't want to trade AR just for the sake of trading AR. AR, I do believe, is a very good player, and I do believe you should keep around if you can, right? But it has to make sense. Right? You have to, and the Lakers need so many pieces, but that doesn't mean you just trade Austin Reaves just to trade Austin Reaves. If you can get the right players, the right pieces, whatever, then sure, do it, right? I don't even think it necessarily needs to be a superstar. If you can just solve all of your needs with Reaves, solve your needs with Reaves. It's kind of how I look at it. But again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, just to like let everyone know, just in general, not even just this channel, but like YouTube rolled out, you might see those like little crowns. They're like the little, so there's like a leaderboard now and all that stuff, and it's based on like engagement, and super chats will raise you up on the leaderboard and stuff. But it's like a new thing that YouTube rolled out, to get recognition on your guys' side of things, help creators and all that stuff. Because I've been in like doing other live streams on other channels, stuff like that, trying to grow and build, and people have mentioned that. I've seen that mentioned, like, what is the little purple thing? Been asked that, so kind of wanted to clarify. The little purple crowns are essentially just like, it's a leaderboard. Like if you click on the crown, or I think it's like at the top, yeah, there's like the XPs at the top. If you click on that, it'll pull up the leaderboard, and you'll see like where everyone's at, where everyone's ranked, and then it'll show on my end, like when I close the stream and stuff like that. And you get points, like it tells you, like you get points for like super chats, you get points for just commenting, you get points for engagement. It's just to, again, create engagement, which I think is a cool feature, obviously for content creators, but it's a cool feature and gives like kind of that incentive to the viewers, right, to kind of compete. So just friendly competition. But just wanted to kind of let people know what that is on my channel. You might see it on other channels. Also, I got to turn on the community post thing, right, where all of you can post on my community post thing, which I think is cool. So all these things are rolling out, and I need to turn all this stuff on. So anyway, let's get into the regular chat. So some more super chats trickle in. Let's go, Tyler. Can't wait for new ownership. Sucks Genie is still here, but hopefully it's like a Cuban thing where he wasn't really in control at all. Look, like Jeannie Buss is really good at the business side of things, right? Jeannie Buss is a good owner. She's not a good basketball mind. And that's the difference, right? Like, I'm okay with Jeannie Buss staying on board as the owner and operator and governor, right? Because that what she's supposed to do is the day-to-day, little nuances of running a team. And she's great at that. She's great at the business side. She's great at managing and running a team. She's not good at the basketball decision-making, right? That's where the issues lie. Now, regardless, this is the first year where she's not going to be the head of that, because Rob Pelinka is this is the first year he will be the president of basketball operations. Now, many of you might be thinking, Tyler, he already was the president of basketball operations. No, he was the vice president of basketball operations, which means Jeannie Buss made all the basketball decisions. So a lot of the trades we've talked about, a lot of the things where I'm like, oh man, Jeannie came in and ruined this. It's because she could. She was the president of basketball operations. Well, she's not anymore. Rob Pelinka now is. So now this is the first year where Rob Pelinka will be able to make basketball decisions without having to ask Jeannie Buss, Linda Rambis, and Kurt Rambis. So we're going to see, this will be the first year we'll actually get to see what can Rob Pelinka do. I don't mind Jeannie Buss being the basketball operator. Let her be the basketball operator, right? Run the team. She really is. She's excellent at that. It's just the basketball stuff she's not very good at. And she listens to Linda and Kurt Rambis, who, look, Kurt Rambis has failed at he's been every type of, position you could be in basketball. And he's failed at all of them except for a player because he doesn't know what he's doing. A lot of guys are excellent basketball players, terrible coaches, terrible GMs. Magic was a terrible coach, right? Like, just because you're a really good basketball player doesn't mean you understand basketball, right? And then you get guys like Jerry West that just had that eye for things, right? So again, I'm okay with Jeannie Buss staying as, the governor, right? Run the team, do all that stuff, run the business side of it. She's excellent with it, but I don't want to see her making the basketball decisions because she hasn't been good at that over the years. And having the guy who built the juggernaut that is the Dodgers, it's going to be incredible. We'll finally have an owner who isn't afraid to do what it takes to win. What a day for the Lakers. Yes. But again, keep in mind, the NBA does have a salary cap, right? Baseball does not. So, he's able to just spend away and also defer money and all that other stuff. So not going to be able to do that in the NBA, but this is good because, like I mentioned earlier, I won't go into the deep rant again because I already did that. But like I mentioned earlier, you will have, like, now Lakers won't get outbid for things. Now Lakers will, if it makes sense, right? Like, hey, we just won the championship. We're in the luxury tax, but we just won the championship. We should probably keep things as is, right? You'll now have an owner that's like, okay, go win it again type thing. So, is the John Collins trade discussion legit or fake? Well, based on the reports, actually, it's funny. I had just finished recording the John Collins video, was uploading the video, turning on monetization, getting that all prepped and ready. And then we got the news for the Lakers thing. So I have that video already done. I will post that probably tomorrow morning. Might end up being the first video I post. But supposedly based on the reports, it's true. Now, keep in mind, something that we always got to remember. Everything is a rumor and speculation until it happens, right? I don't doubt, though, that they've actually talked and had conversations, right? But that doesn't mean that, like, they're close to getting anything done or anything like that, right? So, keep that in mind. Like, I don't think it's fake. Like, I think it's legit. Like, it's not something that's like, if they were like, Lakers talk to the Bucks about Giannis, I'd be like, I don't know how I feel about that. But somebody like a John Collins, and it wasn't reported by the Lakers side. It was reported by Utah. So it's not something that like, oh, this benefits the Lakers. No, it was reported by the Utah side of things. So this is great news for the Laker fans. We all know Jeannie can't spend money so much to build a championship roster. Yeah, I mean, again, like, we were one of, if not, I believe we were the poorest ownership, which, I mean, you're the poorest billionaire, right? Like, but poorest ownership as far as like, ownerships go in the NBA. So now the Lakers are going to be able to compete with anybody. Tyler Baba, I could feel the excitement you had, like I have. Yeah, it's exciting, right? Because the Lakers are now in a position where, I mean, that we haven't been in since Jerry Buss, right? Like, Jerry Buss was willing to spend, right? Jerry Buss was like, no expense needed. Also, Jerry Buss was the owner. Now, you technically have like 6 owners, right? Because with the Buss family, so they all want their piece. So, they're all trying to get their dollar. Where Jerry Buss was like, hey, dude, I'm the only one. I'm like, spend $1 billion. Who cares? Type thing, right? Let's go, baby. New chapter for the Lakers. Absolutely. And I'm excited for it. This is a really good thing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. We can get whoever we want, new owners, make big trades. However, again, keep in mind, there is a salary cap, right? Like, and I don't necessarily want just anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see them go out and sell the farm to go get KD now because it's like, we got again. I don't want new owner syndrome, right? You've seen that could sabotage and set your team back. I don't want to do that, but I do think that there's more confidence now in the potential and type of moves that we can make. Let's make some moves. I'm excited for this offseason. Like, undoubtedly excited for the offseason. He also the owner of the Dodgers, and look how they are running. We are in good hands. Agreed. You got a guy that's willing to spend. Fix the front office. I think the front office is fine. They just got Luka. You give him a fair shake. And this is the first year Rob Pelinka is going to actually be the guy in power. So this will be the first year we'll finally get to see. Rob Pelinka better be on a 2018 LeBron run this offseason if he wants to keep his job. Yeah, look, new owner with deep pockets and the first year where you get to be the guy, right? No more excuses, right? Again, a lot of the stuff that people blame Rob Pelinka for wasn't Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka made a lot of mistakes. I've done entire videos breaking down all the things Rob Pelinka has done wrong. But it's usually none of the stuff that people blame, right? Like most people are like, oh, it's Rob Pelinka's fault for like Russell Westbrook. Rob Pelinka had nothing to do with Russell Westbrook, right? It's just that's how it worked out. And then he fixed it, right? And then Genie vetoed that fix. So then he had to fix it again when it didn't work again, right? Like Rob's done a good job, right? He's also built the championship team and won a championship, right? Like very few owners can or GMs can say they do that, right? So again, like let's be patient. Let's let him have an opportunity. This is the first year that he's actually going to be the guy. It's the first year where he's actually going to get the opportunity to show what he can do without having to go to mommy Jeannie and go, is it okay if I do this? And then she goes, well, let me talk to grandma and grandpa and talk to, Linda and Kurt Rambis. And they go, I don't know if we should do that. And, it's just the silliness. Now it's like, hey, here you go. Do your thing. Let's go. I feel like Pelinka is going to be in the hot seat. Now, I don't think so. I think, look, you just brought Luka. I'm sure that that's part of why he wanted the ownership. I think he'll have a couple years. I think it looks like, based on the reports and the news that came out, Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss are going to be at the helm for a couple years. I think he'll probably bare minimum let Rob finish this contract, which I think is 3-4 years. So I think he'll give them time, kind of work this out and figure it out. Thank you, Buss family, for all the great moments. Tyler, what move could you see new ownership group can or will do? Honestly, I don't think anything major. I don't think anything different is going to change. Like, I don't think this ownership, like now that we got this ownership group, it's like, oh, now let's go get Kevin Durant. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I think the Lakers are just going to stay the course. They just now have the money to where if they do want to get into the second apron or something like that, they can, and they can pay for it if it makes sense, right? And this just puts this is more of a long-term impact rather than the short term. This is more like this is going to be hugely beneficial for the Lakers over the years, not necessarily this offseason, right? Because again, he's going to let kind of them do what they were going to do, the plans they were going to do. So I don't think anything's changed. Now, maybe it's something where now that you could maybe play like Austin Reaves, for example. Could Austin Reaves maybe be on the trade block now, right? If Mark is like, hey, I know you guys like Austin Reaves, but we need to trade Austin Reaves to win a championship, right? Maybe that changes where Genie might have been like, nah, I don't want to trade him, right? That could be something kind of keep an eye on. Like, does this mean Austin Reaves is cooked, right? Maybe something like that, but I don't if you're expecting something crazy to happen, I wouldn't. If it does, cool, great, but I think it'll probably be like all the moves that end up happening I think all would have happened regardless, right? Now, again, maybe there is some crazy trade that ends up happening, but I mean, depending on what that trade is, might have happened regardless too. So just something to keep in mind. What's going on, Laker Nation? I feel like Jeannie did this because of the constant pressure from her brothers. It's possible. I mean, also $10 billion. Like each of the after taxes, each of the kids still make like $1 billion, right? So like, I mean, it's kind of hard to, and they still get to stay in their positions, and they still get 15% ownership. I mean, if somebody came to you for your company and was like, "Hey, I'll give you $10 billion, and you can keep 15% ownership," unless you're like a, you know, $500 billion company, you're like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, I think it was more of the money. I think he was just like, hey, here you go. And reports came out after, like, this was years in the works. That this wasn't something that just happened overnight. Lakers big three coming again. I don't see it. I don't think it happens. Again, maybe this changes and they go and put their name in for Kevin Durant. But honestly, again, I do not want new owner syndrome. I do not. I want we know everybody knows what this team needs. Go get those things rather than coming in and being like, we have to go get Kevin Durant now. Hoping those John Collins rumors are true. He can be our Aaron Gordon. Everyone needs an Aaron Gordon. I am right there with you. I am big on John Collins now. This time last year, I wasn't, but it was not really because of him. It was just kind of the circumstances, right? Like, I think John Collins was like a victim of circumstance. But after last season and just like the shooting and the rebounding and the defense and just like him showing like, hey, if you give me a role and you let me play that role consistently, this is what I can do for you. I'm like, go get John Collins. And now that we know exactly what this Lakers team needs, John Collins checks up a lot of those boxes. So again, like I said, I'll have a video about John Collins first thing in the morning. It's just, again, I was uploading that video when I had that video, and then I had the Walker Kessler video recorded and ready to go. Those were going to be the two videos I was going to post. And then I was going to actually I posted a Bulls video, but I was going to move that to tomorrow, and the news ruined everything. So that video ended up posting, and I was like, damn it. Like, so it kind of just like everything, I wasn't expecting it. It came out of left field. So yeah, I'll have those videos up tomorrow. Timothy, hey, Tyler, it's great to see you. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Likewise. Hearing about the recent news just made my day 1,000 times better than it already was. I'm pretty sure other Laker fans feel the same way I feel right now. I'm right there with you. Like, it's a breath of fresh air, right? Like, the Lakers are in this position now where we finally can compete, right? It's not like, oh man, are we going to lose this guy or that guy or this guy because Jeannie Buss doesn't want to pay him, right? Jeannie Buss doesn't want to pony up. Oh, we got an infinite money glitch now. You're not wrong. That's not gonna happen. The new owner didn't buy it. He bought it because of LeBron. Let them know we want Walker Kessler, Collins, and Gafford. I don't care. Just get it done. I'm with it. I'm excited for Lakers Dodgers franchise under Mark Walters, TGW group. Yes. I'm excited to see both of those teams competing at the same time, right? Like, I'm excited to see like Lakers and Dodgers, because I mean that's what happened in 2020, right? Dodgers won and Lakers won. I need some more of those, right? I need some more years of those. I need several of them. Can we three-peat together? Right? Like, that'd be wonderful. 3-team trade: Khalil Ware, Kyle Anderson, Heat, Trae Young, Jared Vanderbilt, Hawks, Tyler Hero, Jovic, Jaquez, Connect, Heat 29 and 31 first, and Lakers 2030 first. So you're saying Lakers get Khalil Ware and Kyle Anderson, and the Lakers would be giving up what? Jared Vanderbilt, Dalton Connect. So you're trading Dalton Connect and the 2031 first. The 2030 first would have to be a pick swap. I don't think any team does that, if I'm being honest, right? Because like, I mean, Hawks get Miami's already said that they're not trading Tyler Hero. Like they're not even willing to trade Tyler Hero for like they want to like keep him in at like even a Giannis trade. So I don't think that they trade him for Trae Young. Um, I don't see the Lakers ponying all that up for Khalil Ware and Kyle Anderson. If I'm being honest, right? If you want my honesty, I don't see something like that happening personally. What do you think about a cheap wing like Sadiq Bey? I am all for it. If you can, like I've said, if you can go get some of these cheap guys, get creative, find that diamond in the rough or two. Even in free agency, right? Like Gary Harris is a guy that was just the Orlando Magic declined his team option this year, which he was the odd man out. They were going to do that regardless. So now, can you maybe go land a guy like him? That would be fantastic. Again, Lakers are going to have to be creative for sure. Cosmin coming out $2. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Ty, do you believe it? You finally got what you wanted. Yes, finally got the money end of it, right? And so I'm excited because again, this will be the first year we're actually going to get to see like what can Rob do on his own, right? What is Rob capable of doing, right? You know, all the things in the past, all that other stuff. Again, he wasn't in control. He is now. So what can Rob Pelinka do? What does Rob Pelinka get to do, right? And now he has the money to back him. Now he has the finances to back him up. I am super stoked about this. Like genuinely. This is huge. Like I said, I don't think you're going to feel the repercussions or the impact right now necessarily this year, but I do think this will be a long thing. This will be a long game thing. And it'll be more so like I don't know if you were here earlier for the example I used, but like the Alex Caruso situation. Right? The Alex Caruso situation doesn't happen under Mark Walters. It just doesn't. Right? Because now when they go to Mark and they're like, hey, we got to pay him and we're going into luxury tax, he's going to be like, hey, do you think it's worth it? And they're going to be like, yeah. And he's going to be like, okay, then pay it. Right? Pay him. Paid that man his money, for those that get the reference. Right? Chick. Always with the chick. I wonder how many people get that reference. Let me know if you got that reference in the comments. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of one of those things that I really do think that this will be kind of a long-term impactful thing rather than like just, hey, for the moment type thing. Personally. Thank you, Jeannie. Again, Jeannie's not going anywhere. Keep that in mind, right? Mark W equals Dr. Bus 2.0. I sure hope so. Sure hope so, because that's going to be really good for the Lakers. If we can trade Reaves and Rui for a legit 3-and-D wing and a center, I would love that. I wouldn't be against that at all, right? Again, it just depends on what you're getting. I'm not against trading Austin Reaves. I'm not against trade Rui Hachimura. I'm not against trading anybody on this team if it's for the right pieces, right? We need to hit on the 55th and 3 undrafted free agent 2-way contracts. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ideally, yeah, you got to get the right guy at 55. And then if you can get, 2 legit 2-way guys on, from undrafted, then that would be beautiful. LA trying to have the best baseball and basketball team, and I love it. I'm here for it, right? Sign me up for that. Like, this is something that should have always been a thing, right? Like, I've said it before. Lakers last year, gutted and changed and fixed all of their like training department and medical team and all this stuff. Now they have like the best in the league. And it's like, why isn't that always a thing? You're the Lakers in Los Angeles. You should have the best doctors, the best training physicians. Like, you should undoubtedly be the best organization. Like, there should not be a question. Right? Lakers have talked about, like, we really want to be this development hub, and we want to be, we want, like, if you come to the Lakers, you're going to have success because, we're the development hub, we're the spotlight, we're all those things. That should have always been a thing, right? I'm glad that it's happened now, and now we have the money to back it up, right? Like, it's those kind of things. So, Tyler, do you think a lineup of AR, Christie, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and AD, along with other players, of course, would have had a better chance than the current roster? Just a fun topic for discussion. Personally, no. I think it still probably would have been the same result. Maybe Lakers would have been able to put up a better fight. The biggest problem is AD would have been hurt, right? So like Lakers might have not even have made the playoffs, for being honest, right? If it wasn't for the Luka trade, right? At best, they probably are a play-in team, right? Luka was huge for those wins because you got to keep in mind there would have been a stretch where the Lakers had no Anthony Davis and no LeBron James for like multiple weeks, right? So I think personally, like I think the best that could have happened was the best that could have happened, right? Now the 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 topic for discussion is what would this team have looked like had the Lakers not traded for Luka, right? Like what players would they have traded for had they not traded for Luka, right? Would they have gotten that legit sense? Like, would they have traded for a Daniel Gafford and, went and got, I don't know, maybe they would have been part of the Jimmy Butler trade and they land Andrew Wiggins or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, what would they have looked like had that trade not happened? Keep JJ, keep Rob, keep Jesse Buss. He's keeping everything intact, at least for right now. We'll see if that changes over time. This team is never boring. Your facts. You're absolutely right. I will say, though, like, obviously, I'm a Laker guy, but as a content creator, the Lakers are a beautiful organization to be in business for, right? Because there's never a dull moment. There's always stuff to talk about with the Lakers. There's always craziness going on, right? So even just from like a content creator standpoint, it is a beautiful thing. But as an actual Laker fan, like Lakers received John Collins and Kessler for Rui and DK plus a first. You'd have to give up a lot more than Rui Hachimura because John Collins by himself is making 28 million. I did a video about it earlier, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's 28 million or 27 million, something like that. And let me pull that up. Contract. I think it's like 20. It's like 25 to 27 million, somewhere in that range. Yeah, it's 26.5 million, which the Lakers have to send out more money than they take back. So you're talking 27 million. So Connect and Kessler essentially wash out, but it'd have to be like Rui, Connect, and then you'd have to throw in like, a Maxi Kleba or something like that. And maybe you can make that work. I don't think I think you'll have like Dalton Connect a first. I think you'll probably have to give up like a pick swap or something like that too. But that's fine. Figure it out. And I wouldn't be surprised if the 55th pick too in the deal. Because they want basically Dalton Connect and a first and then some just for Kessler. How could we sign Bruce Brown? It just depends on how little he's willing to take, right? So he was willing to take the full mid-level exception last go around, right? But then Indiana came in and gave him double, right? So Gabe Vincent was supposed to be Bruce Brown. Lakers were going to sign Bruce Brown to that 3-year, $11 million contract. So it really just comes down to what is Bruce Brown willing to do, right? Like, is Bruce Brown, like, one, what is his market? And two, what is he willing to take? And then also, LeBron, like, what is LeBron willing to do, right? Like, everyone thinks, there's been a lot of reports that LeBron's going to opt in. Well, we'll see. He still could opt out, right? Does he, if we know we can get Bruce Brown, does he go, you know what? Let me take the discount. Let me take the haircut. I don't know. It depends on, again, what is his market? What is he willing to take? And, what do the Lakers ultimately have? That trade doesn't work. Lakers have to send out more than, you're talking about the other trade. Tyler, do you think a lineup of AR? Repeat of the previous comment. Yes, I already got that. Oh, got another super chat. Carter, I hope I said that correctly. First off, thank you so much for the super chat. Pay LeBron under the table, give the minimum on paper. The problem is that, well, one, outside of that being illegal, and they wouldn't be able to do that, giving LeBron the minimum doesn't really change much for the Lakers. LeBron could play for free next year, and the Lakers only have I think it's like 16 million in cap space, right? So he could just take the discount and free up the same amount through the mid-level exception, right? So that's the thing. Like, a lot of people want LeBron to take a discount. Like, I even want LeBron to take a discount, but he doesn't need to take, like, people are like, oh, have him play for a vet minimum and then, we're good. It doesn't change anything. Lakers would still be in the same position they're in, right? So it's not one of those, it's not like a 1-for-1, like where it's like, if LeBron plays for the vet minimum, now we have 52 million in cap space that we can use to go get player X, Y, and Z. I wish that was the case. I wish that's how it worked, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. So even if he was to, take a backdoor deal and play for the vet minimum, it wouldn't really change much. He could just take 20 million off the books, and then, go do it that way. But appreciate you. Thank you so much for super chat. Seriously. Luka saved this franchise. I mean, there's definitely that argument. There's definitely that argument. What would this team have looked like otherwise? KD is going to the Heat. It's very possible. I think if Houston wants him, I think he goes to Houston. But Tyler, would you rather have Bruce Brown or Nah? That's tough because they both kind of do different things, and they both would be great in different manners for the Lakers. I do like Bruce Brown's defensive versatility. He's better at defending bigger than Nickeil Alexander-Walker is. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's the better 3-point shooter, and he's more athletic. Right? Not that Bruce Brown isn't athletic, and he's also younger. I'd probably take Bruce Brown because you can trust Bruce Brown as an initiator, right? You can trust Bruce Brown to guard essentially 1 through 3. He moves off ball better, right? And he's better at the dirty work. Right? He's a better dirty work. Like you look at Alex Caruso and the impact he's having. And I'm not saying Bruce Brown's Alex Caruso, but like Alex Caruso, yeah, the nights he gives you 20 are great, but like the dude, 90% of his game doesn't show up in the box score, but it's so impactful. I mean, you watch even these finals games. You watch some of these finals games. I mean, he is single-handedly just like taking over games, and he's not even scoring the basketball. I mean, he's had multiple 20-point games, but I'm saying just like some of these possessions. Bruce Brown is better at those impact plays than Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's also had to play that role more than Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'd probably take Bruce Brown personally. Tyler, can you tell us, if you're the GM, what kind of moves you going to do to become a contender? You gotta hit on at least 2 free agents, whether it's like a Gary Harris and Clint Capella, or DeAnthony Melton and a Clint Capella. Trying to get guys like that, these veterans that are still young enough to come in and have an impact, play a role, be a key contributor. And then, I mean, it really depends on what's really available, right? I mean, realistically speaking, if I could get, a Daniel Gafford and an Andrew Wiggins, and then, again, convince LeBron to take a discount to free up your full mid-level exception, and then go get a Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Bruce Brown. Can you get a Clint Capella, maybe even convert it depending on what's available? Can you maybe get 2 guys like Clint Capella and, a piece with your full mid-level exception? It just depends on what actually becomes available. Now what flexibility you have. There's just a lot of variables in that, right? And I think we'll know more after the draft, right? So, if you want a little more like detailed answer, ask me after the draft. Because I think there's going to be a lot of moving parts. I think you'll get a clearer picture of what teams are trying to do. Tyler, is it true Jeannie saw Alex Caruso in the finals and realized she lost him because of money concerns? I mean, I don't know if she came to that realization, but I mean, that was the facts. Like literally. I don't think that's why she sold the team. Supposedly this was years in the works. I mean, look, she probably got offered $10 billion, right? Like if I had to guess why she sold the team, it's like, hey, do you want $10 billion plus 15% of ownership? Right? It's like, let me think. Yeah. Like, I think it's that simple. Rob did good with Luka and Reaves. Keep the trend going. Yes, got to keep it up. Got to keep pushing in the right direction or heading in the right direction. Alex Lynn was the best option at the time. It just didn't work out. That's not like, again, I don't think that's a Rob Pelinka fault. I don't think it's a Rob. Indiana was going to sign him. He literally signed with Indiana, backed out of Indiana to then go sign with the Lakers. So it wasn't like it was like Rob was the only one trying to get Alex Lynn. It wasn't like it was one of those things where it was like, oh man, like, wow, Lakers do, like, nobody wants this guy and the Lakers sign him. No, literally like 5 different teams were trying to get him, and he ended up signing with Indiana, which is kind of ironic because he'd be in the NBA Finals right now. But he signed with it at the time. It made them at the time that was the best center available. It just, again, it didn't work out, right? Like, sucks, but sometimes it's how it works. Two-way players, welcome, yes. Let's see. I think Reaves is going to have another improved season after the playoff run. He's definitely going to bust ass. Let the trade value increase and trade him by the deadline. Hey, I would love an excellent Reaves season, but the problem is, again, there's still Austin Reaves could average 50, 50, and 50, and we'd all still have our concerns come playoff time, right? Like, again, I obviously, look, you have to win games in the regular season in order to get to the playoffs. I do think Austin Reaves, his health, right, because he is Mr. Reliable health-wise. I think his health and just the production he gives you in the regular season. I mean, he's a guy that, LeBron and Luka can miss a night and you could still win a game because he can just go get you 38 and 8, right? Like, I definitely think that there's a lot of value to Austin Reaves. I think Austin Reaves is very important. But come playoff time, you see that concern. It's been an issue the last few seasons. It wasn't just this playoffs. I mean, again, you saw the struggles he had in that Denver series. I mean, he shot 27% from 3-point range. It's a lot. Dodgers have the number 1 farm system. It's not by luck. Yes. The Mavericks wanted AD. Anybody could have got him. Yeah, but it wasn't just the, oh, we trade, like, they also wanted Austin Reaves. They also wanted that other first, right? Like, again, like, criticize Rob. There's a lot of things to criticize Rob for, but we can't criticize somebody for things that they do poorly and then not praise them for things that they do good, right? Like, again, credit where credit is due. Criticize when you're doing wrong. It's just like the players, right? If LeBron, commits 12 turnovers and drops 7 points and is garbage, right? Like, we criticize him. Dude, like, what was that? Right? But when he gives us 30 and single-handedly wins us a game, what do? We praise him. That's the same thing. Like, as Rob Pelinka made some mistakes? Absolutely. As Rob Pelinka had some excellent moves? Absolutely. He's won an NBA championship, right? Like, there's not many GMs that can say that, right? And a lot of the GMs were GMs that, like, won in multiple places even, right? Like, so, again, Rob Pelinka's done a lot of really good stuff. A lot of the things he's been criticized for wasn't Rob Pelinka's doing. It was Genie's doing. We're going to find out what he can do. We are. Again, I'm not saying he's the best GM, but there's a lot of worse GMs. A lot of worse GMs. He's done more as a GM than most GMs have done on 20 or 10 years. Trade Austin now is very possible. Could potentially be the thing. You can't make moves without trading. I mean, you can make a lot of moves without trading Austin, but Austin could potentially give you a lot. Tyler, bro, you got to drink either White Monster or the zero sugar mango. The original flavor is all right, but damn, you were missing out. I actually drink the White Monster usually because it has like the no sugar things. I actually have a whole case in my fridge of the White Monster. It's just these ones. I had these ones already, so I'm just trying to finish them off. But yeah, you need the energy. Would you trade for John Collins and Walker Kessler? In a heartbeat. I would give up basically whatever you have to go get John Collins and Walker Kessler. Solve 2 of your major needs. Vando, Kleba, and DK for John Collins. I would do that in a heartbeat. Get off of Vando's money. Kleba's not a big deal. Dalton Connect. And then get John Collins. Absolutely. Non-trading AR. He wants to be here like Alex did. Yeah, but Alex Caruso would be exactly what this team needs. Austin Reaves is a bit of redundancy. That's the problem. I wish you go all in for Bradley. Pray to God that's not enough. Mavs got flagged for Luka, essentially. Not sold on John Collins. I wasn't originally until I saw him this past season, and I am 1,000% sold on John Collins. What boxes does Collins? What boxes does Collins check? A lot. The rebounding, the athleticism, the 3-point shooting, versatile defender, being able to defend into space, being able to defend and protect the rim. Talking about a guy that can legitimately slot in 3 through 5. On top of him slotting in 3 through 5, he's a guy that when the Lakers do run a small ball unit, which they do like to do, John Collins is big enough and long enough to actually still give you the rim protection as well as the floor spacing, as well as the defense, even out on the perimeter, switching out to bigger guys, all that stuff. On top of that, right, he's just a bigger need than what the Lakers currently have, and even like a Rui Hachimura or anything like that. Like the bigger question is, what boxes does John Collins not solve? I'd love to hear that be explained, right? Like, again, he solves the athleticism issue. He solves the defensive versatility issue, particularly out on the perimeter. He solves some of the help defense at the rim, solves some of the 3-point shooting. Again, I don't really know what he doesn't solve. The reason I wasn't sold on him originally was not because I didn't think he was a good player. It's because I thought he was a victim of circumstance, and you saw his confidence really just tank. But then he went to Utah, got an actual role, played an actual role, and showed exactly, like, hey, if you give me this is what I can do for you, and was fantastic. I mean, just his athleticism alone would be massive. What a great day in life is good. Yeah, 100%. You take Kurt Rambis. Remember, Genie's not going anywhere anytime soon, so keep that in mind. I wouldn't mind Luke Cornett. 10 points, 10 rebounds in 15 minutes is insane. Let's see. Trying to find. Tyler, you sounded excited and gave off hopeful vibes in the initial video. Yeah, I mean, because again, I am excited, like genuinely. I think this is great. Again, it gives the Lakers somebody that is willing to spend and has the money to spend. And now you're not going to have to worry about, if we do this, Genie's not going to want to spend the money. No, go do it. Get it done. This is so exciting. New ownership from the Dodgers. Thank you, Dodgy Effects. It took the group many seasons to rebuild. Lakers will be much tougher. I disagree. You got Luka. And the NBA is very different than baseball, right? Like baseball, like Dodgers literally have the arguably 3 of the 5 best players in all of baseball, and it means nothing, right? Like it doesn't guarantee, right? Basketball, one guy by himself can do wonders, right? Like prime LeBron by himself was carrying bums to, the NBA finals, right? Like basketball is not baseball. Baseball is, I mean, you need pitching and, batting. You need so many different players and pieces and elements, and you have to have proper scheme. Like there's a lot that goes into baseball. Basketball, it's as simple as, like, again, you add one guy and you go from a middle of the pack team to a true contender, right? Like basketball is not. It's easier to, if you have the right pieces, which the Lakers already do. If you have the right, it's easier to solve that. Right? It's easier to solve the role guys than it is getting the stars. Baseball, you could have a team filled with stars and still not go anywhere, still lose in the first round, right? Like, because again, baseball is just a weird thing. Basketball, usually the better teams usually win. Matchups are important and things like that, but for the most part, if you have the proper players, you're going to win. Let's see. LA receives Gafford. Dallas receives Sexton. Utah receives Kleba, Connect, Hardy, and the NR 2031 first. My problem is I don't see Dallas trading Gafford for Sexton. I just don't. I mean, supposedly they want a lot. They want like multiple firsts for Gafford. So, and I don't think Sexton's worth that. I think you probably have to give up more. If anything, Dallas should probably receive the package Utah's doing. I think Dallas would probably take Connect in the first for Gafford, but that, in my opinion, that's too much for Gafford. You're giving up basically all your assets just to get Gafford, which I like Gafford, but Taylor Horton Tucker is free agent FX. Uh, that's great. Yeah, Rounders, everyone that, yeah, good. I'm glad that people got the reference. Thank you. Tyler, we can re-sign Dorian Finney-Smith with a new ownership. We can lose a 3D wing like Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah, we can't. I'm assuming you mean can't lose. Yes. Got to keep him. Memory's so desperate and would do anything if you know what I mean for a trade. Yeah, give me it. Yeah, I'm so glad we're in this spot now. It's a beautiful position for the Lakers to be in for $100 trillion. Don't sleep on Trey Jamison. I like Trey Jamison. I really do. I think they need to give him an opportunity. I like the idea of Patrick Williams. I do too. I wouldn't hate going and acquiring Patrick Williams at all. Alex Fudge is back. I was shredding cheese for some tostadas. Nice. My mom is making nice. That's what happened when you got the announcement. Tostadas are bomb, man. 10 billion evaluation, which is crazy. Largest sell in sports history, like world sports history. Let's see. A ideal offseason would be line up Luka, Reaves, Wiggins, Braun, Claxton with Melton, Bay, Capella, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Prince off the bench. I wouldn't hate something like that. I wouldn't be against that. I'm also not against bringing Prince back, right? Like, especially without Darvin Ham, so he's not playing 30 minutes a night. I'd love to. I wouldn't be against keeping Prince. Prince is good in a limited role. Under Dr. Buss was that he wasn't afraid to throw huge money at players and just go star hunting, trade market. Need a guy like that in charge again. Agreed. Tyler, apparently our favorite offseason target, Triple J, not available anymore. I mean, unless he signed a new extension. I mean, I haven't checked the news recently. Did he sign a new extension? Because if he hasn't signed a new extension, I still absolutely believe he's potentially available. Yeah, I don't see anything about that. Look, Triple J. I know Memphis said that they're not that they're retooling around Triple J and John Morant. They might not have a choice, right? Like if Triple J says I want out, I'm leaving next year, then they have nothing to do, and he doesn't have an incentive to stay there anymore. He can't get he doesn't qualify for the Supermax. I'm not saying he will do that, but can John Collins play small forward? Yes. Can he? Absolutely. He is best suited as a 4, though, right? Like, if I'm being honest, like, he's probably best as a 4. But yes, with his athleticism, with his shooting ability, with his size and his length, and his ability to defend on the perimeter, yes, he could. But he is one of those guys that would be best as a 4 rather than a 3. If you really wanted to maximize his advantages. But let's see. Let's see. Sorry to mess on me. With new ownership, is KD or Giannis or Jokic will come to the Lakers? I mean, never say never, but probably not. I would stay away from Kevin Durant. Giannis, if you could trade for Giannis, it'd be hard to say no. Jokic, I mean, him and Luka are best friends. Maybe he comes in a couple years. He's a free agent? 2 years? What's going on, Brian? Capella, could Capella and Gafford fix our center issues? Absolutely. I mean, Clint, I still don't hate the idea of just Clint Capella. Like, Clint Capella still is one of the better offensive rebounders, but yes, gives you 2 just like legitimate centers that could, I mean, just a serviceable center alone would do wonders for this team. I know they were going to do this. This is why they didn't care all last season. Well, hopefully they care going forward because we need it. He's not going to discount because he said rings mean nothing. You got to listen to the context. He's saying, why is that the main focus of the argument? Not saying that he wasn't talking about it as like rings mean absolutely nothing. I wonder if they'll have the introductory thing now for the new owner. And I bet Luka is pumped having a guy who isn't afraid to spend. Oh, I'm sure Luka. This is huge for Luka. Huge for Luka. Do you think the Lakers are trying to trade for John Collins and Walker Kessler? Yeah, based on the reports, yeah. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense. If we get DeAndre Jordan for a backup center, I would I would not be happy. I was gonna say something else, but I'll keep it family friendly. Hopefully he trades Austin Reaves. I wouldn't get your hopes up, but why do we need to trade Reaves? Just, I mean, he's the guy that gets you the best. Like, I don't think it's like do or die. You have to trade. Like, oh, Lakers can't win with Austin Reaves. They absolutely can, right? But you either have to build the team around him properly, and you need him to show up in the playoffs, right? It's kind of hard to build around him and have him not, be a liability and be trash on the basketball court. But like, it's not something where they desperately have to trade Austin Reaves. But Austin Reaves gives you the best path to get the pieces that you need because Lakers have several big needs. He's your best asset. You also have the risk of him just leaving in free agency, right? Not that there's a ton of teams that have cap space. There's a lot of reasons why they need to trade Austin Reaves. But it's not something you have to do, right? Like, I'd rather have Nickeil Alexander-Walker than Bruce Brown 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. Again, they both are very different players. I think given what this Lakers team needs, I think Bruce Brown would impact more. I'd love to have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'm not saying don't. I just think Lakers have some very specific needs, and Bruce Brown solves those better. A good thing about having a rich owner is that he can pay players out of pocket and off the books. That doesn't really happen as much as people think it would. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk. It's kind of more like things because otherwise you'd see players taking all kinds of like crazy discounts and stuff. There's a reason players don't do it. And if the Lakers could get Walker and Collins, we might win a chip for real. Those two would be insane. With Luka and Kessler is so cheap, could easily match salaries. Yeah, I'm all for it. Sign me up for those guys. Yeah, with Collins. Yeah, like I said, I'll have that video up first thing in the morning. I knew Alex Lynn was a flop the moment that we signed him. Yeah, there were definitely concerns. Congrats on having a new owner, but let's hope Mark Walters a good owner. I mean, he is for the Dodgers, so I mean that's a good sign. We need to trade him while his value is up. We can get Herb Jones and 2 or 3 first picks. It's a win. I don't know if you'd be able to get Herb and multiple firsts. You'd probably be looking at like Herb Jones. Maybe you could get a first. I don't know about that. I mean, again, Herb Jones, you talk about one of the best two-way players in the league. I mean, that guy's really good. Get rid of Rob. He keeps putting together rubbish rosters with no identity, trading for the best name available, regardless of fit. Don't hold your breath on that. Just now, 76ers in Utah had discussions trading Paul George to Utah. I would imagine they give up the number 3 pick too? Because that's if I'm Utah, that's the only way I'd do that. What position would he start at? I mean, you could, like John Collins, if you were to get John Collins, you could do it either way. You could either go, like, I talked about this in the video. Like I said, I don't want to go too much in depth with it because I don't want to, like, ruin the video. But, like, you could, if you wanted to, you could go John Collins at the 4, LeBron at the 3. But on defense, LeBron's playing the 4. John Collins is playing the 3. But offense, John Collins is at the 4 and LeBron's at the 3. That's probably how I would structure it, because John Collins could also operate as that lob threat under the basket. He's not very physical or athletic anymore. I don't know where or why you think that's the case. I mean, I could not disagree. I mean, the guy is still one of the more athletic guys. The guys jump out the gym. Again, I could not agree more. But hey, to each their own. The only time John Collins was on a winning team, he was good. Just because he doesn't defend doesn't mean he cannot. He was actually great defending this past season. It's just you're on a bad defensive team. It's hard when you're like the best defender on the team. We have guys who can do what Reaves does, and the ball handling guy who can shoot decent is easier to get than those 3-and-D guys. Reaves is valuable. But busking by 5 minor teams now, you know. We need to get Gary Harris. The Magic just declined. Yes, I've talked about him too. Do you think Lakers, Sixers, Utah, Lakers, and Sixers are working on a 3-team deal? I mean, it's possible. I don't know why Utah would need the Lakers to get involved in a Paul George trade. They could just take him on if they wanted to. I mean, it depends. Depends on, did Sixers want anybody that the Lakers have, vice versa. It's very possible. Can we get the white center from the Raptors? The white center. I'm assuming you mean Jakob Poeltl. Is that what you did? Probably not. What's up, Tyler? It just happened on besides the owner and new owners. What other changes do you think the Lakers will do? I mean, I don't, like I said earlier, I don't think anything changes. I don't think you're going to get some major significant changes. I think Lakers, like everything that we expect the Lakers to do this offseason are probably going to happen regardless. Like any moves that the Lakers make, were probably going to happen regardless. Like to me, this is more about the long term, right? This is more about like, again, like losing guys because of finances or us needing to get into the tax and whatnot. I think that this would just be better for that. Even though he will be bound by the NBA salary cap, Walter has proven that he will do whatever it takes to build a championship team. And the best team in baseball is the Dodgers. Is Rob out? Rob Pelinka? No, he's not out. Him and Jeannie are going to stick around for a while. This is the first year Rob Pelinka will have all the control. He'll actually be able to make the decisions. So we'll see how he actually does as like the guy. He doesn't have to answer to everybody anymore. Kind of seems like, at least for right now, Walters is kind of staying out of it. He's just the finance guy. I'm full now, Tyler. That's what's up. Good. Always want a full belly, right? As good as AR is offensively, he is a defensive liability. Agreed. Let's go get Embiid, Giannis, Jokic for picks at a bag of chips, if only. I am very mixed around John Collins, a great offensive weapon, but not incredible defensively. I prefer Walker Kessler. I mean, I'd love Walker Kessler too, but John Collins is a good defender. He's not like elite or anything like that, but he's also on a terrible Utah team, right? Where it's not like he has all this defensive help. Again, Lakers were the number one defense in basketball for like a quarter of the season or like a third of the season. It's like 25 games. So like, yeah, like a third of the season with Luka, Austin Reaves, Jackson Hayes as your center and Rui Hachimura. Like LeBron was your best defender and athlete in that starting unit. You get a guy like John Collins, Lakers would be great. Ideally, if you go get Walker Kessler. Are we forgetting that we have Luka, Bruce Brown, Capella quit playing and come over and eat all you can eat buffet around here in LA? That's what I'm saying. Like, go get those guys. What would we need to trade to get our most realistic trade targets that include Wiggins and Claxton? So I did a whole video breaking this down in detail, but essentially you're talking 54 million. So Lakers would have to send out 54 million, which if you're keeping Austin Reaves, is basically everybody else, right? If you want to keep Austin Reaves, you're basically trading everybody else. We also need a young athletic center to start. Yes, Lakers need to get a clear-cut starting center. LeBron has the whole Lakers organization on his big shoulders and is carrying them right now into fantasy land. Like he's a star or something. I mean, like star is thrown around too loosely, so I don't think he's a star, but he is outside of Wemby, the best defensive big in all of basketball. That's not an opinion. That is literally a statistical fact by like every defensive metric. Again, feel free to look that up. You're talking about literally the best defensive big, not named Victor Wembanyama, in basketball, which is exactly what the Lakers need. We know the formula. We know the formula for Luka. We need athletic wings and an athletic and defensive-minded center. Yes. And Nick Claxton is an underrated pick. He can guard 1 through 5. Athletic lob threat. Wasn't he Defensive Player of the Year candidate? I think it was a couple years ago. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. But yes, I wouldn't be against him at all. My only problem with him is just his weight. He just, whoever the Lakers bring in this offseason, that is, if they bring someone in, it won't be game changer because they don't have the resources I disagree. I mean, don't be surprised if they get a couple things. Like again, got to get creative, but Kessler's a match made in heaven with Luka. Agreed. I'm right there with you. Height does not equate to being good at center. Agreed. But anyway, I got to the end of the chat. I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me. Thank you, everyone that gave me super chats. I really do appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. Everyone that just hung out with me, seriously, I thank you so very much. On your way out, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button for me. You people are beautiful. And we'll do this again real soon. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.